We have a small audience,
We got a small audience,
right? Compared to those big dogs.
I agree.
We're the only two who said the opposite of everyone else. And everyone else was bearish, crying for blood. We were not.
We were not. Cheers to that, William. Cheers to that. This is water, by the way. Water is good for the soul, William.
We also said to be aware
Aware,
that it could go lower, but to don't go
cautious.
cautious. There we go.
Welcome back, everybody,
To another week.
for your favorite crypto podcast,
Sometimes crypto.
the Unscripted.
Crypto podcast.
Hey-yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey-yo. It's been a heck of a week. Lots of.
I don't want to start with that.
He's like, no.
I don't want to start there. I don't care about the heck of week just yet.
How you been, William?
Nah, screw that too. I want to say we were right.
We were right about what?
Because on last week's episode, what did we say? On next episode, we said Thursday, but it's currently Tuesday, and I think it will follow through.
Oh, you're right. I know what you're talking. I know where this is going.
BTC is higher than it was last week.
Yep.
The retracement was only 18% relative to other retracements it does pre-halvening of 30.
Uh-huh.
What I'm also going to say real quick, I was also right.
Mm-hmm.
It only dipped 18.
Yep. It didn't
hit 30s.
It didn't hit 20.
It didn't hit 20 either. Again, not saying this can't happen in the future. I'm just saying right now, ETF inflows are still pumping up prices.
Yep. It's still holding the line.
At least not pumping up prices, but holding
It's holding the line.
the 60s.
It's holding the line. Yeah, ETFs are definitely bringing in a lot of money into Bitcoin.
I want to add one more thing.
Go for it, William. This is your podcast.
We have a small audience,
We got a small audience.
right? Compared to those big dogs.
I agree.
We're the only two who said the opposite of everyone else. And everyone else was bearish, crying for blood. We were not.
We were not. Cheers to that, William. Cheers to that. This is water, by the way.
I think that's against the law or something to cheers with water.
Water is good for the soul, William.
I just want to say we also said to be scared, not what's the word? To be
Fearful?
aware
Aware?
that it could go lower,
Mm-hmm.
but to don't go
Cautious.
cautious. There we go. We said to be cautious.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, but what William said,
I just didn't see it happening either.
ETF inflows are still strong enough to where it shouldn't go below that price range.
And look at us. Look.
I bought the dips, by the way. I bought other. Now
Friday came by. I got my paycheck. Money went in. Money went in.
You bought on a low then. You bought Friday. Friday was like a low price.
Yeah.
There's one more thing. I think that's it. Let me see. Let me think of my brain.
Yeah. I mean, we lost a lot of money last week in the ETFs because there was a large amount of outflows. I believe it was.
So you want to start with for that first?
Outflows of last week's ETFs totaled about $888 million. I told William that number, and then he got mad at me. He's like, "But from where, Alex?" He's like, "You need to be specific. From where?" And I couldn't tell him because I just knew how much went out. But he knows because William.
I have a thing. So what you're seeing or what you saw is the spot Bitcoin ETF outflows chart from the block.co, and it's just basically showing you the graph itself of what it looks like. Also, I will say, I don't know how accurate this is. I assume it's pretty accurate. This is the most like fine-tuned one I found. So last week we had, I'm not giving you a total number of outflows for the week, just like the daily outflow. So Monday was the highest day of outflows. There was 642.5 million outflows, and that was all GBTC from what this chart says.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the inflows were 448 total, and it was mainly IBIT.
IBIT holding up.
IBIT was mainly the one at 451 million, and then let me expand this a little more. And then you also had the other smaller ones at 5.9 at FBTC, BITB at 17, but the total for that was 488 million for the day. So negative outflow.
Yeah, negative outflow.
Same thing happened on Tuesday. Negative outflow. GBTC sold like a mother of God, 443 million. And inflows were a mere 117 million.
Yeah.
There just wasn't.
There was way too much sell off.
And basically the week continues as that.
Mm-hmm.
which, as we all know, GBTC just has too much Bitcoin. They're charging absorbent amount of prices to just custodiate.
Yeah, for their fees.
And it's a lot of early investors.
People who've been around it for a while.
Who probably got in at 20, at 15, at 10. And they're just like, man, I'm
good.
10x.
Yeah. Time to
I'm out.
Cash out. I mean, these people are used to standard
5% returns?
Yeah. 7% returns.
In a year?
Yeah. So now that they're seeing 10x, and they're like, okay, well, this is... They're assuming...
This can't be forever.
Yeah, they're assuming it's done. But boy, do we know that they are wrong.
Yeah. And just to quickly wrap up this ETF outflow inflow, this week started. So this gives you backed up data because reports don't come out until later in the night on Tuesday for like current day. Pretty even. Outflows from basically GBTC were 350. Inflows were 365. That's why we have that. That's why Bitcoin right now is sitting at 70,000.
Where do you get that information from?
I said at the beginning of my rant.
The block?
The block.co.
Okay. Well, the source that I had it came from one of the emails, newsletters that we got, Milk Road, it's called. Milk Road claims that ETFs inflows for Monday the 25th. So this week, episodes being posted on Thursday typically. So earlier this week, the inflows were $15.7 million, according to... I just didn't see where they're...
15.7?
Uh-huh.
Could that be a specific holder?
Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna look into the thing right now.
Because I see 14.3 from BITB.
FBTC, it looks like.
So that's just a Fidelity's.
Yeah, it looks like FBTC was the largest inflow they saw.
Yes. No, it wasn't.
With the largest outflow being from GBTC.
So IBIT, from this chart saying IBIT was 35 million. FBTC was 261 million. And BITB was 14.3 million inflow.
Okay, so this is a chart from... I just clicked on the image.
Do it.
It's from BitMEX Research, at BitMEX Research on X.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking for the date is all the way at the bottom, 25th. And the largest number I see here being 261 from FBTC.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 261 from FBTC, 35.5. It's literally all the way at the bottom. IBIT, Blackrock, at 35.5. With the majority of outflows coming from GBTC.
From here, it shows all of them. Like very little sell-off from other ETFs.
Yeah, last week was all red, all 5 days.
Yeah, there was just more of them.
Actually, looking at the chart, that's the first time that's happened where the entire day it was...
Well, no, it also happened 22nd of Jan.
So, yeah.
But that was early on, and that's when GBTC was just mad selling.
But I only see 4 days of outflows. I see 1 day.
Oh, my chart is a little bigger.
That's why. 25th, I think it was. Yeah, the 26th. I'm sorry, it's a big chart. I really got to squint my eyes. The 26th, or Friday, there was inflow on that time. This last week, specifically, it was all 5 days.
Red. Relative to what was coming in. Yeah.
Which explains why the price of Bitcoin went down.
Yeah, an Asian market just couldn't buy enough of it.
Yeah, too much capital in America.
Well, too much institutional, just like mass capital, which...
It's not a bad thing.
As time progresses, you won't just see the ETFs gaining momentum. You also, you won't just be seeing the ETFs offered by the big institutions. You'll start having smaller investors, or not smaller brokers and financial advisors tell their clients to also buy the whichever ETF.
Yeah.
And that would also that's a whole nother market which has like $7 to $9 trillion in it, respectively.
Really? That much?
In small advisors,
small firms and stuff like that.
I heard it on a podcast, by the way. I don't remember which one, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. That's the recovery is looking good.
Yeah.
You're right. You were right. It wasn't going to last long.
Well, I wasn't. Red Capital on Twitter, who I follow and just like use him as a guide because he has the prior charts too, so you're able to compare where we are to where we were like
in the
previous cycles. For the most part, we're currently in what's supposedly called that retracement circle or retracement zone. Typically lasts like, what's the number he said, from like 14 to 28 days or 7 to 28 days at like the
pre-halving,
like a reaccumulation starts like retrace, where that's where you'll get a lot of that buying or reaccumulation. And he even is like, since we closed on the weekend above technically the trend line and above that 69,000, it put us in a position to just now push forward.
Since you mentioned the halving, as of today, Tuesday, halving's 25 days away. When this episode's out, will be like 22 days away. Less than a month.
Yeah.
It's around the corner. The halving is typically what initiates the next cycle, but we're seeing obviously for a lot of inflows way before we've for the first time ever broken all-time highs before the halving.
For the 10th straight podcast, we were saying that.
Yeah. This is. Yeah, I just want to reiterate that because that's new. That's never been done before. So,
yeah. Which it won't change. Like as of right now, for the way ETFs work, if you notice, they're not gonna sell off anytime soon.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Minimum year to two. That's
the people who are buying now.
The people who are buying ETF, like traditional investors, will hold that 1 to 2% of their capital there for 1 to 2 years. Apart from GBTC.
So these ETFs, can they be traded like stocks, like day trades?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I say that because I do think that it's important to note the difference between traditional investors who look at markets as through an investor's eyes, where they're going for longer term investments, versus swing trades or day trades where they're holding it for a few weeks to a few days at most when it comes to day trades.
Most traders won't trade it like that, an ETF like that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So the majority of people buying now will be holding it for
long-term holding. In terms of investing, it will be a long-term hold over a year.
Yeah. That's bullish.
That's why I said the price we may not see that price drop if investors hold that time frame, or it might just coincide with when the Bitcoin bull run ends, and we just have that drop at the same time those investors decide to sell.
I mean, if the markets were to act rationally, if someone bought at 55,000, assuming it's a good deal, if it were to drop down to 55,000, should be a great deal because they saw they reached 70K, so why not buy some more? But we always know that markets aren't always
markets are not rational.
Even though they're supposed to be. So we'll have to see if that ever were to happen, which very, very unlikely, because I know a lot of people will continue to be buying.
Yeah. True Bitcoiners will continue buying no matter the price.
For sure, yeah. True, yeah. People who understand Bitcoin at a fundamental level will continue to be buying Bitcoin probably till the day they die.
Yeah.
But it's cool stuff.
If anything, you should start getting ready for, if you're invested, what's your exit strategy and when you're going to start selling.
Yeah. What do you want to spend? What do you want to spend your new term gains on? But then again, down the road, always think long term. The chief legal officer for Grayscale posted a tweet recently.
What did he say?
There's been a lot of FUD lately. Last week we talked about the poly market thing.
The betting thing,
yeah. About how a lot of
they didn't like it.
Besides that, how a lot of people are saying that the likelihood of an ETF for Ethereum has gone down.
We're back on there.
Yeah. So Greg Solom says that he does not agree with that statement, which, as I'm on this guy's page, it's very unlikely that the SEC would not be approving the ETF for Ethereum in the future. mostly because of the conditions that have been set already. That they've already approved the futures ETF for Ethereum, and if they approve the futures ETF for Bitcoin and then approve the spot BTF for Bitcoin, that there's no reason for them to not approve the spot Ethereum ETF.
Yeah.
He does say that so that was the first tweet of a series of tweets that he posted, and he said that he really would have preferred talking about the lack of SEC engagement with Ethereum ETF.
Well, that's part of the reason why they're saying it's not going to get approved. Is just because they're not engaging.
Yeah, people aren't adding more like amendments to their filings.
I think part of it is just because they're upset that they have to approve it to a degree.
The SEC.
Yeah, it's just like I have no choice, even though they haven't classified ETH as a security or as a commodity. Well, they haven't reclassified it.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
it's already been classified as a commodity by the original chair before Gensler, but that was proof of work, not now proof of stake. But it's one of those things like it's too adopted.
Mm-hmm.
It has so much value for you to do anything about it. So you either choose to regulate it, leave it unregulated, and tell people not to buy it, and they're still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
So it's what you want to do.
That's absolutely true. Knowing how this decentralized market of crypto works, yeah, doesn't matter if it's regulated or not. Someone's open for it.
It's too late.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag.
The cat's out of the bag. Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. So that's gonna. I think that when it gets approved is gonna definitely spark up a lot of
ETH layer 2s will run.
Yeah, ETH layer 2s will definitely run. If ETH's running, ETH layer 2s.
I don't like the fact that ETH's on the run because it might break my 6,000 limit. But if it breaks it,
it might make him say had said something wrong.
I'll admit it when I get there. It's still at 3.8 right now. 3.6 my fault. So if it breaks it, great for everyone who holds ETH. If it doesn't, I told you so. Right, I might be saying I'm wrong faster though.
I saw this guy. It was a reel I think that I saw where the guy's like, "Oh, Ethereum's not reaching 6,000, Bitcoin's not reaching $150,000. The cycle topped off at 70," and I was like, "What is he saying?" I was like, where's this coming from?" But then at the end, he got me hot because he said, "Oh, it's when the Bitcoin halving comes that the bull run really starts." I was like, bro, that's like the most random technicality I've ever heard. It's like
he played with you.
Yeah, okay. he played.
You got
me.
upset.
Yeah,
you got baited.
Yeah, I was like, what are you saying, man?
Great engagement.
Yeah,
he found engagement in that one.
Yeah, he did.
So talking about governments.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And SEC not being cooperative, our government, U.S. government, not playing nice with crypto, not really moving forward fast enough on what they want to do. The EU is, though.
The EU is moving fast. What'd they do? They're playing nice with crypto?
No.
They're not playing nice with crypto.
They're playing control of crypto.
Oh.
We'll see how that works for them.
How so? How are they controlling crypto? Inform the masses, William.
So, let me go to the tweet.
The tweets. If you're not chronically online, you're not getting the good information.
This is KuCoin.
Right?
Correct. Here it is. No, it's not that one. Is it this one? Yo, that's my my EU regulation tweet.
Oh, really?
I did.
That's not fun.
No. But essentially, before I find it, the EU has basically banned the use of wallets that have not been basically doxed or identified by the person being sent.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, from my understanding, is if you decide to send funds out of the exchange itself, you have to disclose who is the owner of either the wallet, mainly the anonymous wallet you're sending it to.
Mm-hmm. You have to disclose the anonymous wallet that you're sending money to?
Yeah.
Out of the exchange.
Out of the exchange.
Yeah. Okay. So if I buy my cryptocurrencies on an exchange like Binance, for example, and want to move that funds off of the exchange, which is what crypto was initially used for. Exchanges were made as a product to help, or as a product of this new technology. If I want to send the money off of this centralized regulated exchange, I need to dox the wallet that I'm sending it to. And if I don't dox it, then I could be held liable for that transaction.
I can read this quick little article.
Okay, go for it.
So the law works alongside crypto-focused markets and crypto assets regulations, MICA, laws and others to commence exiting prohibitions on CASPs from providing accounts for anonymous users or for privacy coins such as on Monero, my fault, which hides information about transactions. CASPs,
which stands for Crypto Assets Service Providers.
They didn't say what it
No,
was.
I'm clarifying.
Yeah. So must also apply mitigating measures to transfer between their platforms and self-custody wallets, where users hold their private keys, which include at least verifying the identity of the exchange wallet holder where funds from a self-custody wallet were sent. The law is limited. This is also extra things they added to this law.
It's a long document.
It's a very long. This is just like the quick snippets.
The document is like 329 pages long.
Yeah.
Super boring.
Lawyer speak.
Yeah.
The law's limited cash payments to 10,800 or 10,000 euros, with EU member states able to set lower limits.
Lower limits for EU's members?
The EU member states are able to set lower limits.
Oh, wow.
So they
it's like a maximum of 10,000.
Right now it's 10,000.
But then if they
decide, the members decide, you know what, 10's a little high, let's put it to 8
or 3
or 2
or any amount.
Exactly. Set lower limits and banned. My fault.
Yeah.
I'm illiterate sometimes.
It's okay. I get nervous too.
Bro, public reading. I can speak. I can't read. And banned anonymous cash payments over $3,240, 3,000 euros. My fault.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, to close off this quick little thing, the AMLR. That's probably the name of the thing.
Anti-money
laundering regulations.
Regulation. I'm assuming. I don't know what the R stands for.
Is expected to be fully operational within 3 years, sometime in 2027, after it gets approved from EU Council and European Parliament which next sits on April 10th.
Yeah, so it is regulation.
We're smarticle particles. Yo.
Yeah, that's I mean, they're trying to do their thing, obviously, but the issue is once it comes out of that, okay, cool. They're regulating you to dox a wallet address that you send money out from an exchange into. What happens after you start using that wallet? Can they really, there's ways of obfuscating how you're spending that money afterwards.
I guess the issue, I would see would come into, yes, but the thing is, anytime you go to interact with the non-Web3 world, you would need to abide by their guidelines.
So if we think about game theory a little bit, that just means that less people would want to use decentralized facilities, decentralized services, and therefore push forward the Web3, the decentralized aspect of this faster.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay. No, I'm just making a statement. I'm not saying.
No, I'm not going to argue that because you're right. Mm-hmm. The thing is, there's no off ramp.
Yeah,
we're currently in such an early stage of that game where you currently can't pay your landlord or pay the mortgage in some form of crypto, and you also can't do it anonymously, and you may never be able to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a hindrance for sure. Like, I'm not saying that's not the case.
That's what I think is the issue.
You can technically pay your landlord or all these people for their goods and services. You just got to ask them if they're willing to accept it first.
You can't pay your mortgage in crypto.
Yeah, mortgage, no. I meant more so landlord, like paying rent.
Yeah, but the thing is, the landlord has to disclose what he's receiving it and where he's receiving it from.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because he can't pay his mortgage.
Because he can't take the money out of his thing unless he keeps it there, and then he goes, you know what? The house is already paid for. Wherever it is, I'll just keep the money in crypto, and I'll just use it within the world.
Yep.
But the thing is, at one point or another, depending how savvy these government taxing agencies get and the government control gets,
I'm assuming they're gonna try to get as savvy as possible.
And they're gonna.
Taxman always wants his money.
Not even the taxman, just control. Just like they don't want you to spend over or move over 10 grand, right?
Yeah. Why? I know that's a rhetorical question.
Like the same way the U.S. you can't if you use over $10,000 in one thing,
you have to report the transaction.
You have to report it because it's alerted. It's like, okay, but in Web3 you can't. They have no say.
Yeah, no. Anyone who's native to Web3 doesn't care what you do with your money. That's your money. There should be no limitations on how you spend your money. The thing is, taxman always wants his money, so he's always going to try to find a way. He's like, oh yeah, you know what? $10,000 is a large event. Let's flag that to make sure we get our cut.
If you're selling it, if you're paying for something, you'll be like, why are you paying someone $10,000?
Yeah.
What services do they provide for it to?
And that goes into anti-money laundering.
Correct.
To ideally not fund terrorists.
But it's such a.
But how often? Yeah, like I know
Crypto's
a lot of
too public.
I know a lot of people that spend a lot of money on the daily, and they're not funding any terrorist activities.
Yeah.
It's a much smaller group of people than one would expect it to be. It's going to affect a lot more people negatively than it would benefit in terms of protecting against funding terrorists.
But that's just Europe doing Europe things, and as of right now, America's not far from it because we just don't know what they're doing. They're not proactively doing anything about it.
I think that has a large part to do with our current administration.
I don't think it mattered. I don't want to say that because the administration before that, they didn't do anything either.
I agree. That's true. But we thought there was going to be more activity because Biden did say, we're national mandate, any federal organization needs to start doing research into it and to get ready to start making proposals. I haven't seen many proposals except for the SEC.
And they're not doing any good ones.
And they're not working out in their favor. Assuming that their ideal situation is to not allow crypto in.
Yeah, and the thing is, they also make it hard because they're also gonna punish you for not abiding by their rules. At the time and place, they start using Chainalysis on these like tracking firms to see, you're moving here to here, here to here. We tracked it all. Mm-hmm. Like, no, sorry, you owe us X. And it's like, but.
Yeah, but it's like you said, all transactions on chain are recorded forever.
Yeah.
In perpetuity. They cannot be changed. That's one of the beauties of it. It's also one of the things that you got to take note of. So if you're planning on doing illegal activities, probably don't do it on the blockchain because
use cash.
Eventually, cash is more discreet in that sense.
There is literally no paper trail.
Yeah, if you use cash,
here you have a nice little ledger line following where everything moved to.
So yeah, if you do it on the blockchain, someone will come by and get you. And I'm pro that. I don't want to fund terrorists. I don't want anyone funding human trafficking. But
they're doing it anyways now. Like they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Like they're still getting funding and they're still humans being trafficked.
Yeah, but not necessarily through blockchain.
The majority no, I'm saying it's not happening through blockchain.
Yeah.
The majority is going to be happening through cash because there is the least amount of paper trail.
Yep, the majority is happening.
And when I say cash, I mean any actual physical currency.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they don't have to be cash. It could just be in a very complex scheme of things that just make it difficult to find and trace.
Mm-hmm. So
not having to be blockchain itself.
Now,
entities.
Yeah, now that we talk about that, I do want to recap something that we've talked about in our early episodes. if we're saying cash is more discreet and more private, then what's the use case of it being publicly available, the every transaction on the blockchain? And that has to do with false transactions or counterfeit money. When you have a physical currency like the dollar, like the yen, like the euro, you could make counterfeits of that currency, which will ultimately devalue the currency that you're using. Because if someone decides to print,
they do that already by themselves. I don't think you need fake currency.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but that's just adding one other reason why. When some bad actor decides to print false money and inject it into the economy, that just lowers your holdings overall, because now there's a fake currency out there that's illegitimately propping up the economy or being circulated around, and therefore it increases your risk of receiving bad money that's been printed illegally, and doesn't give you any security in that sense. What is like, there's nothing there protecting you of your wealth, and that's the benefit of having transactions logged on the ledger.
I think fake money, like injecting like that, it's very...
It happens.
But yeah, the way you're saying it, you're saying like they're gonna add $1 million of fake money.
They do.
No, they don't.
They 100% do.
No, I don't think it's that high.
Probably higher than $1 million.
It's counterfeit?
Counterfeit money, yeah, 100%. What do you mean? Go on the dark web and you could buy $100 bills for half the price of $100 bill, so $50. You literally doubled your money. A lot of people, falsely, obviously, and this is not, and we're not condoning this either. But yeah, a lot of counterfeit money is being circulated.
Dude, according to the United States Department of Treasury, an estimated 70 million counterfeit bills are in circulation. Approximately one note in counterfeits for every 10,000 in genuine currencies, with an upper bound of 200 million counterfeits or one counterfeit per 4 million genuine notes. Mm-hmm. That's nothing.
No, 200 million though.
That's nothing.
That's
nothing. You can't say that.
That is definitely a factor, William.
You can't. The reason I have to argue this,
because you want to put the blame on someone else.
I don't want to put the blame. I'm saying that number is insignificant compared to just the amount of printing currencies are able to do on their own.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. You want to put the blame on someone else.
I'm not putting the blame. I'm saying there's a...
So
if you take a percentage of 200 million, not even out of the current what we have, even lower to what was pre-pandemic, 200 million out of 5 trillion is what percentage?
I understand what you're saying. You're saying it's insignificant.
I'm saying
it's so small.
Insignificant number.
I have a counter argument to that.
Okay.
There is no false transactions on the blockchain. Bitcoin, for example.
I'm not saying there is. I think a better argument would have been double spending.
That's also a form of false transactions.
But it's a different one.
It's a different one.
But I think that's a better argument than
that one. Than counterfeit. Yeah, that solves a bigger problem than the counterfeit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's a weak argument, like relative to.
Yeah, it's like minute. I understand that. I understand that. That's fair.
I'm sorry.
No. But this is good because
you're right. But at the same time, it's like
It's like Alex. Why you arguing over semantics?
Why are we arguing over pennies when there's billions of dollars?
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah.
Because if this would have been $1 billion, $2 billion,
then I
would be like,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. That's a good injection.
Yeah.
For like 200 million grand scheme of things, it's not.
I do want to note though.
What's up?
That's the dollars that they are estimating that are out there.
Correct.
It might be more. It could be a little bit more.
It could be more. You want to give it five for sure.
Let's say.
But I still think
fair. No, I understand. I still get where you're coming from 100%.
I think the double spending argument is way better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
To like defend it in the sense of like
false transactions.
False transactions.
Yeah.
Because if we go to double spending, now you can go fractionalized banking is a bigger issue because we're essentially adding fake money to the ecosystem that the bank is fake holding.
Yep. Yeah, the fractionalized banking is
right. I think that's a better way to be like, this is why you don't want to hold the fiat.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. But yeah, that whole the fractionalized banking, and then the fact that the Fed just keeps on printing money.
I'm also be honest, it's way lower, then like you'd be like, oh, it's like an issue. It's a little lower than what I thought it would be for an issue. I'll be honest.
I was just making a point.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like this
you're like
number.
You're like 200 million.
You can throw us away. You know why? Now this is going to the government. They just approved a 1.2 trillion spending bill.
Oh, really?
Like last week. I don't know what it's for or nothing. I'm just saying they approved another 1.2 trillion. It's like take 200 million to that number and be like, what are we doing? This is a joke.
Yeah. Is that 1.2 trillion adding to our deficit? He's like,
Alex, we don't make the deficit right now.
That's true.
I think right now we're getting close to maintaining the debt, meaning we're just paying interest to maintain the debt we owe, right? And basically the money we make every year just pays the debt. Well, it pays the interest on the debt we have.
Wow, that's nothing.
Right? And right now we're paying a year, if I'm not mistaken, $1 trillion a year to maintain the debt. I think end of 2024, like somewhere in that range between 2024 to 2025, it goes to 2 trillion.
Oh. It's a lot of money.
I think by like 2020 something, I forgot. I saw a chart. It goes to like 4 or 3, and just like we can't afford that.
He's like, where are we gonna get that money from?
We don't have it.
Yeah.
Even if you tax people to like 100% or 80, it doesn't exist.
We don't produce that much.
We do produce. We're the highest producer.
Well, I understand that,
but it's like, nowhere near that.
Yeah, not enough to cover the debt.
Which is crazy.
That's what I meant.
Sorry for sharing your statement.
No.
I'm just putting there's greater risk out here.
There's greater risk out here.
But getting back on topic with EU and their things. It's really what we talked about on the reel we posted about CBDCs. This isn't a CBDC, but it's just controlling the current system we already have.
Yep, it is.
It's like, so what happened to this whole government overreach thing? It's just getting worse.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that happens as government starts to expand.
And it's like, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, no one's saying we shouldn't have governments, but no one's saying you should be your hand should be in every pot. There should be like, okay, monkeys, because I'm being generalized. Monkeys don't kill each other. That's what we just need to do. Monkeys do this, follow simple guidelines. Keep peace. Keep it moving. Peace. We get to do whatever you want. You can go there. You can do that. Some rules, some guidelines.
It's like, don't take over my branch of this tree.
Don't take my tree.
Don't
take my wife either, please. Normal stuff.
Don't kill my babies.
Don't kill. You see? No. Bad. No bueno.
Very bad. I agree.
But like, it's just the system, in my opinion, is becoming overcomplicated when it could be much simpler. On all sides. Like, the fact that there's no middle ground in anywhere is like crazy.
Yeah. And it's like you said, the governments are just overreaching like an insane amount. They're really testing their upper limits of what control can be, and they're gonna keep on testing it until they are satisfied. Newsflash:
don't sell your Bitcoin.
Never.
Don't sell your Bitcoin.
They will never be satisfied. They will always want more control.
Not your keys, not your coins. We learned that the hard way.
Yep. Not your keys, not your coin. Don't learn it the hard way.
Don't learn it the hard way. So everyone buying ETF. I hope one day you get to sell that ETF because you didn't buy because you were scared. You get orange pill and you go, I'm buying Bitcoin.
Yeah. ETFs are only like to get a little taste of what good sound money is. Wait until you actually own some Bitcoin and have it on your wallet, a hard wallet, cold storage.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, oh, I can things could get ugly.
I could just get up and go.
I can go.
Or I could buy the things I need to feed my family or defend myself.
Yeah, things get ugly.
Things get ugly. I got the funds to protect myself. Guess what? It's not.
Also, this is in a world where funds are still relevant. If all hell breaks loose, it doesn't matter at that point. But neither would your gold.
Yeah. You're talking about like
this is
extreme catastrophe.
Yeah, extreme catastrophe doesn't matter. Normal like range of world, like government being overthrown,
like the internet goes down.
You're fucked.
Yeah, that's internet goes down. A lot of people are gonna have a lot of issues,
buddy. Internet goes down. The government is all hell breaks loose everywhere. So obviously not to those extreme case scenarios, but it's more so your government's being overthrown. There's a civil war. There's a war. There's this. There's that. There's things that
natural environment,
natural disasters. You're like, oh, I can book it.
Yeah.
Continuing on this topic of countries being
under fire,
doing what the countries do.
Okay. What's up?
So, OKX, the exchange. I don't personally use it. I don't
think we can use it.
Correct.
OKX isn't allowed in the United States.
Hey, man. So, it's actually not that. So, it's not that OKX isn't allowed in the United States. It's more so that those exchanges don't want to deal with the U.S. regulations. So, they're just like, I'm not going to bother filing or going under the U.S. scrutiny to just get these customers when it's too much work. Yeah. It's too much of a hassle to do so. It's not that the U.S. doesn't let us. It's more so they don't want our business.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want the U.S.
They don't want the U.S.'s business, which I understand. It's
exactly.
Like, and that has to do with government overreach. When the government starts putting in their hands in all these pots and really putting their hands inside, then there's no space for any innovation. There's no space for companies to come in and provide goods and services.
Yeah. There's only 2 countries that you, as a U.S. citizen, you can't use, like services you can't use. Iran and North Korea. Those are only 2 like type of not just exchange, like services that you, if you use them, you're in a problem. You're in deep stuff. Okay. Any other country though, you can technically use their service. However, it's not up. The U.S. doesn't care how you got on there. They just care like you do. You report. You do the right stuff.
They just want their money.
They just want their money. Essentially, you're right.
They just want their money.
Yeah, pretty much.
As long as you tell them, yo, I used this exchange over here and made like $5,000.
And I used this one over there, made 20. I use this one over here, I lost 24.
Then they'll be like, okay, well, here's your bill.
You owe us $90,000.
Yeah.
For what? For breathing.
For being a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but pretty much. So, crypto exchange, OKX, and service in India. Mardito. Never mind. I don't feel like throwing it up. I'll just quick read it. We regret to inform you that OKX is no longer providing service to users in India due to local regulations. You need to close all margin positions as well as positions in perpetuals, futures, and options. Redeem all funds from Grow products, Earn, Loan, and Jumpstart. Withdraw all funds from your account. Please complete these steps by April 30th, 2024, 12 a.m. UTC. After this date, we'll restrict your account. You'll still be able to withdraw your funds, but other functions will become unavailable. Your funds will remain safe, available in your account until you withdraw them. And it says contact OKX support if any questions or whatever.
Damn it, India.
They're doing that US thing. It's just like it's too much work to get on. And I don't know if OKX is the word I'm looking for, is KYC friendly, meaning there are exchanges that you don't need to KYC. So I don't know if they're one of them.
So the way I understand OKX to work is to set up an account, it's not no KYC required, but then depending on the regulations of that specific nation, they start like leveling up your account based off of how much KYC you do. So you could put like a birthday, like a general address or your name, some type of identification number, and the more fields you start filling out, the more the higher in level you get depending on what nation you're in. And then they start like falling into like certain rules where like, okay, you do this level of KYC, now you could start trading within the platform. You do level 2, then you could send a certain amount of funds out or in. Level 3 allows you to do more. Just that's from what I've understood OKX to do.
Because I know for the most part, KYC friendly exchanges, for the most part, from what I know.
What do you mean by you know what? KYC friendly. What do you mean by friendly?
They don't require KYC to use them. Okay. Meaning you can hop on them, you can trade by spot. Okay. You can withdraw, do everything.
So, no, non-KYC.
But that's what people say KYC friendly in the sense of...
I'm asking because like I've noticed that there's some terms and I'm like, what
so
exactly?
non-KYC, KYC friendly is kind of the same thing. It's just meaning they don't require it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And for the most part, the 2 I know, Bing X, Mexi, Oh, I didn't know OKX.
OKX.
There's CoinW is another one.
Mm-hmm.
They don't require you to identify who you are.
Mm-hmm.
All they require you is a Google, either an email to log in, an account login, something like that. And then from there, when you do start adding information, it's mainly to really up yourself in terms of what you can withdraw, what you can move in and out of the exchange without having to alert anyone of anything.
Yeah. That sounds like
so. For most part, like most of them are like you can withdraw in 1 day or 1 week or whatever. I think it's 1 day for the most part. 1 Bitcoin in value
without being doxxed,
without having to provide more information.
But then if you want to withdraw, I think you said 50 for like some of them.
I think that one of them was a little higher. Yeah, if you want to withdraw 50 worth of Bitcoin, that's level 2. You need to identify this, and that. Which for most part is like a passport or some sort of identification saying where you're from and everything else.
By the way, 50 Bitcoin is a lot of Bitcoin, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Bitcoin. I don't care about the dollar price. 50 Bitcoin's a lot of Bitcoin.
Yes.
People right now are spending a lot of money to try to mine 6.25 Bitcoin.
Exactly. So that's what it is. And then from what I'm seeing here, this isn't just OKX. This is just India not wanting that exchange period in their region.
Just OKX.
As of right now, I think that's the one.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I don't know of others. India could have a very limited pool. I'm not in India, so I wouldn't know what they do or don't have. For the most part, Mexi. I know for the most part, Mexi is almost everywhere in the world. But like for example, BingX isn't allowed in Singapore.
Okay, why? That's so.
I don't know.
Singapore doesn't like BingX.
I just know that because it just so happened one time it clicked. I'm like, oh, Singapore? What? No? That's weird. But it's one of those weird things. But this is
I think we kind of covered India, how they were proposing that a while back.
Yeah. But now they're cracking down on it.
Now they're actually like implementing it.
Which it's really just you're getting rid of the on-ramp.
Yeah. I'd rather them get rid of the on-ramp than block what the EU is doing.
Yeah. Because you can find a way on. 100%.
Yeah, you just find a local Bitcoiner. Or
you can always find a way on.
Go on Twitter, be like, yo, who wants this?
Who's in India? I need this, and that.
Yeah.
No, 100%. But it sucks.
Yeah, it's not good for India. That much I know. It's definitely going to hurt
innovation there.
Their innovation a bit. And India is primed for innovation. So many people over there working on tech.
Yeah.
The only people that like really got to protect themselves really is like Africa. There's a lot of like in middle of Africa, I think, South Africa. There's a lot of innovation going over there. A lot of people are working on crypto. A lot of people work just tech in general.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing that there's a lot of like potential upside for that region.
In South, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Crypto Banter is based in Africa, South Africa.
Oh, are they? I knew that guy was from South Africa.
He's South African, but they're based in South Africa.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought, because I knew that he lived in America for a while, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, but he
moved back to South Africa. Oh, cool. You learn something every day.
Yeah. Man, governments. You want to continue on this government rant? Because there's another thing that happened today.
I guess, so we could wrap that up.
Well, these are important things. It's not like I want to talk about them. like if they don't happen, I wouldn't talk about them.
William's like, we got a job to do. We got to report on this stuff.
If it didn't happen, I wouldn't talk about it. But it's happening.
Yeah. And
affects us.
Go for it, William.
So KuCoin, a very popular exchange overall, and one of the main exchanges apart from Crypto.com, Coinbase, operating in the U.S., is basically being told by the SEC, you have violated anti-money laundering laws.
Oh, wow.
It came out today. I think that's why we saw a crypto dump, a little pullback. Not even pullback, a little dip. Kind of ruined the momentum, if I'm honest with you. Like, you guys suck. We're doing really well.
Yeah, because KuCoin's a really big exchange.
It's one of the bigger exchanges here. I haven't read much about it. It literally happened today. So just a quick read. It says KuCoin exchange, crypto exchange KuCoin and 2 of its founders were charged with violating anti-money laundering laws by U.S. federal prosecutors. Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Darren Carmack called KuCoin and alleged multi-billion-dollar criminal conspiracy. KuCoin's native token, KCS, dropped by 5% after the announcement.
Multi-billion-dollar? Yeah. That's a lot of money. We would... I think we'd need to wait to get more information to see what's going on with that, definitely. But that's definitely big. That's huge news. If you're watching this episode as soon as it comes out, I recommend searching up another video and seeing if you guys see anything, because KuCoin is big crypto exchange.
I can read this sentence real quick. It kind of says
what's more or less what's going on.
No, it's a pretty large article. It's from CoinDesk. It'll be in the description for sure. I'll make sure to save it. So the U.S. Department of Justice said in an indictment that KuCoin and founders Chonggan and Keitang operated KuCoin as a money transmitting business with over 30 million customers, but did not implement Know Your Customer KYC's or AML program until 2023. And even then, its KYC program did not apply for existing customers. Neither Gang nor Tang were arrested, the DOJ said in a press release.
Interesting. So they're charging them as a money transmitting company
because of KYC,
but not as like an exchange.
No, because I think when it happened, which is kind of crazy that you allow them to get set up shop, and then after the fact you want to go after them for KYC. Like, you don't know that's not going on beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's that's the frustrating part. But it's like we just talked about. It's because they didn't have information about their customers. They just allowed them to trade, to exchange in it, and then also the reason they say money transmitting, in my opinion, is because they're able to send the money out and to other people.
I see.
Not because they're using the exchange service and then using their products on the exchange. But damn.
Yeah, something that I've been realizing is the regulators and the large people who are already in the system and have a lot to lose from this whole Web3 movement, they're playing kind of dirty. They're doing some weird things that doesn't seem like it's legit. The first time I really noticed it, because
say it.
It's GameStop. GameStop, man.
I love when he says it, because he says it every time, bro. He says it once a month on this podcast.
Bro, that thing got me so high. It was the first time ever that I saw it happen live. Like, before GameStop, we kind of all were like, oh, there has to be some type of manipulation.
Well, we knew there was,
but it was never so blatant, like, in your face. This is so, like, yeah, this doesn't help us, so we're going to shut it down.
So I will say the reason we've never seen it, I believe, is because we've never had a time in history where the stock market was so accessible to people.
100%.
And we've never seen their protections turn on live. We've never seen stocks fall 30% and be like, stop trading, 5-minute cooldown, 15th, no trading for the day. We've never seen that.
We've never seen that
until GameStop.
Yeah.
And then that's when you realize, markets don't allow you to go up, don't allow you to go down. But then if you're going too high and you're going against everyone else, you're like,
hold on,
wait up.
We can't, our order books can't keep up with the transactions going on. We need to stop this so we don't overload the system.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of BS. Oh, man.
So I'm going to continue reading?
Yeah, continue so I don't talk about GameStop anymore.
No, just because there's more to it.
Okay.
Because it wasn't the SEC who filed this, apparently. It was the U.S., but it was the Commodity Futures Trading Commission also filed a suit. Oh, I apologize. They also filed one. Also filed a suit against KuCoin today, alleging the company, which offers both spot and futures trading services, did not register as a Futures Commission's merchant, swap execution facility, or designated contract market. Its suit also charged that KuCoin didn't implement the CFTC's equivalent of a KYC program. The CFTC is seeking monetary penalties, trading and registration bans, and an injunction. Apologies. While the DOJ is seeking for I can't read that word.
Which where? It's harder when you flip it upside down.
Dude, I just became dumb for a second. Give me a second.
He's like, wait, I need help. Wait,
I need to read more out loud to practice. Now I just lost it. Oh, right here. I found it.
Forfeiture. So like to forfeit, to give up.
Got you. Alongside criminal penalties.
Wow. Well, they definitely did do a lot of spot trading and futures trading.
No. They did all this.
Yeah, their allegations are probably like very accurate. But it's like you said, it's like, how were they doing it for so long before anything was said?
You want me to read the last paragraph?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, sum it up for us.
Right? We already read it all. So what's the difference at this point? In his statement, Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent in Charge Darren called KuCoin and alleged a multi-billion-dollar criminal conspiracy. Nothing. It was one of the largest crypto exchanges. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement that KuCoin's activity tried to hide that substantial numbers of U.S. users were trading on its platform. Indeed, KuCoin allegedly took advantage of its sizable U.S. customer base to become one of the world's largest cryptocurrencies, derivatives, and spot exchanges with billions of dollars of daily trades and trillions of dollars of annual trade volume, he said. As alleged in the filing, to implement even basic anti-money laundering policies, the defendants allowed KuCoin to operate in the shadows of the financial market and be used as a haven for illicit money laundering, with KuCoin receiving over $5 billion and sending over $4 billion of suspicious and criminal funds. Wrapping it up, today's action came just months after DOJ, CFTC, and Treasury Department settled a similar charge against Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange.
Okay.
In that exact same KuCoin lawsuit, KuCoin whole debacle, from another article, it says, in the CFTC's complaint against the exchange, the regulator says that KuCoin allowed investors to trade commodities, including Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin. So with that statement there, that's a nice little caveat to the SEC.
Mm-hmm. It's like you just claimed.
The CFTC just claimed that Ether and Litecoin, which Litecoin is irrelevant right now, are commodities.
True that. That's beautiful. Damn, CFTC.
Now we'll see what comes out of the whole KuCoin thing, because we're gonna follow this one for a while. But that right there adds some validity to the ETF coming out.
Some precedence.
That's I can't pronounce that word.
Precedence. Why is my thing spiking up so much? Sorry, guys.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to add, that they said that as well. Bro,
Very
they're
fun.
just coming for these exchanges.
They're an unorganized front, William. Absolutely.
The government or crypto?
The government.
Because crypto's pretty unorganized too.
Yeah, but crypto finds order in chaos. That's crazy. So OKX will definitely be on the radar for quite a while. Definitely be on the radar.
Yeah.
I mean, not OKX, KuCoin.
KuCoin. Alrighty. What else you got for us? I have one more thing, but I'll let you talk for a little bit.
If you want to talk about something important.
Why you don't? I just, this transition is a little different. You don't have anything to transition off of? You can say no.
Yeah, nothing to transition into.
All right. Last thing that I got in my sleeves.
Up
is
your sleeves.
In whatever. BlackRock wants real world assets tokenized.
Oh, fun.
They're creating,
I've heard of that,
a fund, if I'm not mistaken, they're launching a tokenized fund with respectfully $100 million of their money
Okay.
to do so.
To tokenize some assets.
To tokenize real world assets.
Property, hopefully.
So they didn't talk about properties. They talk about stocks.
Oh, ew. But fine. Fair. It's okay. Somewhere.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
They talked mainly about stocks. They said stocks, every bond, and etc. Like everything that you can imagine from there. Bullish or non-bullish?
Bullish.
Or government control?
Doxed for sure.
This? Like whatever who...
Yeah.
Yes.
Doxed for sure. But bullish because I'd rather...
Adoption?
I'd rather have... Yeah, adoption to a degree, but I'd rather have tokenized stocks on someone's blockchain.
And then you can own it. You can hold those stocks.
Yeah, you could...
Physically hold those stocks and vote for those stocks. Like,
exactly.
Actually, on chain, this is my vote. There is no confusion here. It is what it is.
Yeah, versus having someone else say, "Oh, this is his stocks," and what if that company goes bankrupt or a bunch of other stuff?
Which in this situation, Robinhood gives you the option, the ability to vote on the companies you own shares on. I don't know if bigger, what's the word? Bigger. Oh, what are they called?
Funds? No.
What's BlackRock called? Like, what are they considered? I just for my
like
brain.
firms.
Yeah, for now.
Agencies.
Those bigger firms vote on your behalf for the most part. So now it will give, which essentially I don't know. It's kind of odd that he wants to give up some of his power in that way, because they technically hold all those assets, so it makes them theirs. But if you blockchain or tokenize it,
well, it doesn't really make them theirs.
Yes, it does.
I think what they want is likely to have control of or to be heavily invested into the infrastructure that will support these transactions.
Yes. What I'm saying is, if you tokenize stocks, for an example.
So according to Wikipedia, BlackRock's an investment company.
Oh, an investment. That's what I was looking for, an investment company. An investment vehicle. If you own stocks, right, with BlackRock, they're not really yours. When I say they're not really yours is, for the most part, from what I understand, is you cannot vote on your stocks.
Okay, yeah.
BlackRock
I see
makes the decisions for you and votes on your behalf.
I see what you mean. Yeah, there are certain things, like depending on how the company organizes their company, essentially, allows you, depending on the terms of your agreement with them. So you're going to be giving them the money to purchase the stocks, but then they'll be like, okay, cool, we'll manage this for you, but then we're also going to take the voting rights.
Correct.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
And when you look at it, they don't go, oh, no, these individual people at any time can withdraw these stocks and make it under their name. It's not true. It's held under BlackRock. When they go, oh, who owns this amount of Reddit, Carnival, Cruise Lines, whatever thing, they say BlackRock, Fidelity, blank, blank, blank. No, that's what I mean. Versus if it's tokenized, you'll be able to hold it within your wallet. You'll be like, no, some asshole owns 1% of this little thing over here.
Like Flanagan's.
Exactly.
It's publicly traded.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it pennies?
No, it's not pennies. I'll search it up right now.
It's cents. Flanagan's is a restaurant chain in South Florida right there.
Flanny's. It's going to show up on the new GTA.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it has a new different name. Flanagan's stock.
Let's see.
Flanagan's Enterprises, $26.172.
Oh, snap.
Yep.
More people from here should own it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know how much.
I just heard about this and I want to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about selling Google now. I might get zero return. But I'll be like, I support the company.
It's at an all-time high right now.
What?
No, not an all-time high.
What's this?
But essentially, it was trading at $25. It's currently at $26.
It's up $1.
It doesn't really have a lot of volatility or anything.
Of course,
really.
It should be super stable.
Yeah. Previous close $25. Dividend yield is 0.45, so 1.8% annually, I think. Yeah, Flanagan's. I saw that. I was like, this is so good.
So that's the BlackRock thing. The only thing that would happen, that's gonna happen with BlackRock and having its, because as you know, these exchanges have to have these wallets holding this crypto, whatever. When people find that, since for the most part I think they dox themselves to be like, no, this is ours, they get spammed with so many tokens worthless and just so much random garbage being sent to them. So apparently BlackRock has been sent an estimated value, like in just like stuff.
In garbage coins.
Well, no, like the majority is zero, but it has 84,000 altogether tokens more than zero value, contributed an additional 84,000 to the fund's portfolio. NFTs like Crypto Dick Butts and Kaju Kings and Goblin Town add another 5,000 in value. Like you just the fund was launched and they just had the money there, and it's just they're sending a whole bunch of garbage into the
That's crazy.
into the
That's
into the what's the damn it the wallet.
that is so funny.
But yeah, with real world assets adding actual alpha, it means oracles will be needed to communicate these assets on chain and communicate the price feed.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously more than that.
So oracles are pumping now.
No, they're not pumping now. Market took that dive, but
wait till it gets approved.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
Pyth
bullish.
is up.
That's bullish.
I will say, like, Pyth, the Oracle for Sol, went from its low, 22 cents, to currently sitting at 94 with an all-time high of $1.14. And we're just getting started with the bull run. So just what can it do if we continue, as we continue? But yeah, big stuff.
That is definitely huge news. Like massive. Exciting.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
There is this company. This is this gold mining company.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about them.
Nylum Resources that recently put out an intent to purchase or something like that. A letter of intent.
Yeah, intent to purchase essentially.
Yeah. For them to acquire a company that holds Bitcoin. It's a special asset that its main purpose was to acquire Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is they're going to be buying this Xbird data, I guess what it's called. They're going to acquire 100% of the common stock for that purpose special purpose entity. They're going to rename it to this thing called Mindwave that holds 24,800 Bitcoin. That's a huge amount of Bitcoin.
That's a lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they're buying the company, not the value of the Bitcoin.
Yeah. The company, they're buying not the Bitcoin itself. They're buying the company.
The company.
Yeah. Which essentially gives them access to the Bitcoin, obviously.
Of course.
Nylum's price went up in value as soon as that letter of intent went. Mind you, this is a gold mining company, and they're buying this Bitcoin as a form to leverage it in terms of creating some type of to create more stocks and use that inflow of money for high interest investments.
Yeah. So in terms of value, at current value of that Bitcoin, it's $1.7 billion.
Yeah, they're buying at a discounted price.
Of course.
Yeah, they're buying at a discounted price.
No, 100%. But what I'm saying is, I'm assuming once they buy that, there's going to be a what's it called? A lock period where they can't sell the Bitcoin at all.
Yeah, they're probably not going to sell the Bitcoin.
Or no, I'm saying they wouldn't be allowed to.
Oh, I see.
Because you can dump the price.
Mm-hmm.
With that much Bitcoin, you can.
Yeah, you could do a fair chunk.
You can drop it. You can
Yeah.
drop it a little bit, but if they're buying it below 1.7 billion, which I'm assuming they are, they would make an absurd amount of profit immediately just on paper.
Yeah. So what they're going to end up doing, which it's probably going to work in their favor to lock up the Bitcoin. They're going to sell a preferred class of Series C stock.
Okay.
That pretty much used to leverage the value of the stock using the Bitcoin as like collateral.
Like Michael Saylor.
Mm-hmm. And then with this
like
new,
Saylor.
exactly what They're literally taking a book out of Michael's.
Yeah, because I've seen the stock hit an all-time high today. 1,800.
Yeah, and then once they sell that stock, that new money that came in through the sales of these stocks, they're gonna use it for high yield projects. Probably mining more gold.
Bitcoin?
Maybe Bitcoin. We don't know. They don't know. They haven't said what they're going to use it for.
Makes sense.
But it is a gold mining company, so I'm assuming they're going to do some type of mining.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, huge news. Pumped the market for that stock today. And yeah, I just thought that was cool. Just wanted to throw that out there.
So I think we're done with crypto stuff.
Yeah, we're done with crypto stuff. There is one more thing that happened.
I want to talk about something else.
Yeah.
What, you're gonna talk about the bridge?
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about Russia.
Russia.
Okay. They got hit by a terror. They're saying a terrorist
Moscow.
attack. Moscow.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
much about it.
Okay.
I saw one Spanish news media talking about it on YouTube, and as of right now, all I know is when the time I saw it, 130 dead.
Wow.
From what I saw was there was an explosion within it could be a theater, it could be a mall. It was a pretty large, I would say, mall space. Like,
I remember seeing the word mall out there.
Yeah,
but
it looked like, to me, it looked like a mall because there were stores on one end, but there was also, it looked like there was a gathering place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could have been a theater within the mall as well.
Yeah, like a multi-use area.
Right? And bro, gnarly.
Yeah.
The entire building on the outside looked like it burned down the top, like the roof style, completely burnt. Explosion in one area, and then from what I saw is 4 ISIS members went in there and gunned down.
Wow.
100 plus people.
Wow.
On top of the explosion, that probably killed a couple or injured.
Mm-hmm. And ISIS?
ISIS is saying it was them.
Oh, they're claiming it.
They're claiming it,
Mm-hmm.
which everyone's like, oh, funny enough, ISIS would say ISIS would be back. This is one of those things I'm seeing. And the other one is they're saying some of them, or the people that were caught, were Ukrainian citizens and were Ukrainian soldiers, which I just found odd. I didn't look into it. That's all I know. Like, not much there for me to add.
Weird stuff going on.
Weird stuff.
Yeah, I saw some news
which sucks. Like, that's
about all that. Yeah, obviously, any act of terrorism is not good. Yeah, that sucks.
So that was a Russia thing, and then Putin is ready to light
up ISIS.
Light up Ukraine.
Oh.
He said if we find Zelensky or the Ukraine government attached to this in any way, shape, or form, lighting them up essentially.
That's fair. Like, I could understand why he'd be mad if they were.
Yeah, bro. It is a shit show.
I'm sure it is.
Like, we're not there yet, but it looks like a shit show. Like, it's starting to spread. The shit show's going everywhere.
Yeah, the thing with terrorism, it causes fear and hate, and people don't act rationally when it comes to fear and hate.
I think you're assuming it's terrorism. I think a lot of people are saying it's conspiracy, and it could be, like, there's a lot, like, one of the conspiracies, it's Ukraine pretending to be ISIS.
But it's still an act of terrorism.
Yes, but it's more so now as your foreign enemy that you're in war with attacking.
I agree. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, whether it be some type of guerrilla warfare or some type of tactic. I'm not disclaiming that that's the possibility. It is an act of terrorism because it incited fear, mass death, casualties of civilians. It's just now the Russian people are obviously in a state of somewhat fear and hate. And that
more than if they were already hating, which I don't know if they were or weren't, but
yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, acts like that do cause a lot of commotion.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna be clear: we're not news specialists. Like, this isn't our forte. Yeah. We just talked about our forte for last one. This is why this is at the end.
Yeah. This is exactly why this is at the end.
Because we're not specialists at this part of it.
Yeah.
We're just having thoughts now.
Keeping ourselves entertained also. To a degree. Making sure we're up to date with stuff going on. But yeah, no. Sincere.
Yeah. No one wants to see like that.
Yeah.
Like, war is war. I get that, but random terror like that.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Involving civilians is the part that's not cool.
Involving civilians at any point in time is like, you're losing. And that's why the whole Israel-Palestine thing is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's just getting worse.
You can't get. Yeah. I was having a conversation with someone. They're like, oh, so like, how do you feel about that? I was like, I don't know what to say about the whole Israel and Palestine thing.
Candace Owens had a comedian, Dan Soder, and he's basically like, there's no one right here. Like, whoever says Israel's right, whoever says Palestine's right, is like, both wrong. Like it both sucks. Like whatever happened originally sucks, and then what they're doing sucks. It can be a shitty situation. It doesn't have to be a winner here.
Yeah, I agree. You don't always need to have an opinion on a topic.
Yeah. And Candace also just agreed, like, no, it just sucks for both ends.
Yeah,
like,
of
not
course,
even going into it.
War tends to be crappy in all senses. That's why I am anti-war, always. A heartfelt sincerity
To all places going under turmoil right now.
Yeah, so many
just
places.
sucks.
Yeah. Here in America
as well for like all the shit that's going on too.
We recently had a
accident.
Yeah, it seems to be an accident
as of now.
Unless the conspiracists get a word in. But a cargo ship ran into some bridge in Baltimore. That was a very active bridge, and a handful of cars were found inside the water with sonar. And that happened. What was that? Yesterday.
Technically morning? Tonight. Last night, because it was 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning when it happened.
So this morning. Huge catastrophe. Obviously, the entire bridge collapsed. The ship seemed to have lost power, got off drifted by like where it was supposed to be going, like in the canal, the channel, and then got some power again. They had, we see a lot of smoke coming out of the ship.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was trying to get like the engines were running to try to fix its course, but then it lost power shortly after that again, and just it was too late. Crashed
right into the support beam.
Mm-hmm.
Before I give a statement on this, I want to clarify: it wasn't Dan Soder, it was Dave Smith, the comedian, not Dan. Dave Smith. Gotta get this right.
Of course.
But I did see the video. It lost power like twice. It could have lost power earlier too, and then they try to.
Yeah, it was out of view from.
Yeah, it's not. I won't say odd, because it's just a ship that lost power.
It just never happened before.
I don't want to say that.
Like it's one of those things. It's like I've never seen that in my entire life.
But it's like how often will a ship lose power as you're like.
Yeah.
In going out of canal, it's not rare. It's a very rare occasion.
Exactly. Yeah.
But ships, I will say, do lose power.
Yeah.
If there is faulty maintenance, not upkept, there could be 1,000 things going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the engines could have died, returned on, and like that's the other thing. Those engines won't turn on right away.
Yeah, it takes time. They definitely take time.
Like what probably happened is the main engines turned off, their generators were attached, were probably not functioning properly. Killed all the power and turned back on. They ran the engine, and then something's there that's not working right, turned off again, and just couldn't get back on. And then when it hit that beam, it just
completely collapsed. Not in nothing. Police officers were able to make it to the bridge before it crashed and stopped getting people onto the bridge.
That's why there's so little traffic.
But there were still people on the bridge at the time, which is the unfortunate part. But at least some people were able to be saved.
Luckily, it wasn't during like heavy traffic hours.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, I think the ship was trying to go to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
The ship, it's a Singaporean ship. It was docking in, picking up cargo. It's a giant cargo ship that hit something.
There's so much mass on that ship.
That boat's like and there's obviously so many conspiracies out there. It was a cyber attack. It was this, that, the third. Why was it going that trajectory? Why was it doing that? It's like I'm not gonna say no to that. But you can also be a little more reasonable and be like, okay, ship lost power. It's drifting. You don't know the current. You don't know the wind.
Yeah, I just feel like there's so many like assumptions that need to be made for you to jump to planned or
conspiracy.
Yeah,
I think like that's the fun answer.
That's the exciting one because it causes it's salacious. Yeah, because it causes commotion. It gets clicks.
Where you're talking about it.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the case.
I think there was something faulty that happened, some lack of maintenance, something. Because it was.
Yeah, it's very possible some lack of maintenance. These are for-profit companies. Sometimes companies get lazy and cut some corners.
Because I will say, it is a very new ship. From what I heard, it was built 2015, 2016.
Oh, okay.
It's a fairly new ship.
That is new, yeah.
Again, like I always like, if you, I don't think I've ever said on the pod, but salt water doesn't care how new you are.
That's fair.
Salt water will eat away at whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If there was any lack of maintenance at any point in time,
Yeah, that's reason enough.
it's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. How new it is.
How new it is.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
I'm just curious to know what it was. If there was damage.
Well, they are
full on investigation.
Yeah, they're not letting anybody onto the ship until they've deemed it to be safe to get back on. So like some teams are probably gonna, like, very limited amount of teams are gonna go in to make sure structurally you could get back on.
You're fine.
Then investigators are gonna get on.
I saw a video of a close up of the ship. The entire front, like,
Yeah.
the entire front of the ship is destroyed, but that hull looks intact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does look pretty good.
Because I will say, if it was getting water, it would be sinking.
It'd be sinking.
It would be sinking by now. I that's a very confident answer.
Yeah, it would.
Like, they're built to hit stuff.
They're built. They're built to take on an iceberg from the middle of the ocean.
They are. Like, that the Titanic at the time, it wasn't. It also hit the side, but if it hits straight on like that, for the most part, that the front part has a giant steel ball of metal that helps with just buoyancy, breaking waves, everything. So if it hit that first, that's just a ball of steel.
Mm-hmm.
It's, for the most part, it'll be fine in terms of, like, structurally. I mean, it could break later on, like, as you start removing just, like, the debris off of it. Hopefully they find as many people alive as they can.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
It's gonna be difficult because it is cold water.
Yeah,
20 degrees, 30-degree water for sure. Such sucks. Such a sad thing.
But yeah, well, on that note,
we're done.
thank you guys for tuning in.
Wait, before I close off. Next week, I think we should have not just a crypto focus episode, but a topic of profit taking, because we are getting closer zones. If you are just trading stuff or Bitcoin or whatever, you would want to look at, if you want to take profit, where you should, if you're interested. And oh no, that's it. I just had profit taking in my brain.
Thank you for listening. Like,
This
share,
time.
comment,
Subscribe. No one likes them, right?
have a beautiful night.
It's been another week.
Your favorite crypto podcast,
Sometimes crypto.
the Unscripted
Crypto podcast.
Ayo.
Hey yo.